What is up, you guys? So today's video gonna be fairly simple. I'm getting the truck ready to go to the drag races. We're gonna do the 8th mile this coming Thursday and then the quarter mile on Saturday if all goes well. So what we're gonna do for today is actually remove the front seats. There's a little bit of, I don't even wanna call it discrepancy, but there is some electrical stuff associated with the seat. So what we're gonna do for today's video is we're gonna remove it, show you the process of removing it. I know it's just 4 bolts, but there's also the harness. So I want to disconnect the battery, unplug the harness for the seat because there's also an airbag in that seat. So I don't want to disconnect it with the battery connected, of course. Guessing it's going to throw a light for the airbag. And also when I remove the seat, I'm going to weigh it for you guys so that we all have a reference on how much these factory seats weigh. I know my seats are sport seats, they're leather. Maybe it's a little bit heavier than a cloth seat. I don't know, but I will tell you what a sport leather seat weighs. With all the bells and whistles, the heated seat, the cool seat, it has it all in this one, so it's probably the heaviest case scenario. Anyways, let's back up the truck and get cracking. So first things first will be to grab a 10mm wrench. We're gonna pop the hood and we're gonna disconnect the battery. So like I said, with the airbag system, you really don't wanna take any chances. This is more just, I mean, I'm sure they have all sorts of safety mechanisms in place, but when you're dealing with that stuff, who wants to take a chance? So anyways, battery is off. You usually have to manipulate the cable out of the way so that it doesn't make contact again. Sometimes I just like to put it back on top so that it has something insulating between, because these things are, you know, they've been in one place for a million years, so they don't usually like to go any other way. They usually like to return to where they were. But anyways, that's situated. And ooh, that was close. But we're good. We got enough clearance just by luck. We dance around the hoist here. So here's what we have underneath. It should be pretty straightforward. We just got this major clip here. So I'm just gonna pop this down like so. So we have this huge clip. And where is the release? So here's the release. So we're gonna squeeze this one here. And this should all pop out. If I can do it with one hand, I would be amazed, but let's see. I think I'm gonna need to put the camera down for just a second. All right, there's the cable disconnected, and now we have 4 bolts. If I had to guess, I'd say they're 14 or 15mm, but I will confirm in just a second. On second thoughts, since you can tell I probably haven't done this on this truck before, I would assume that we want the seat to be kind of folded up and a little bit more forward so we can actually get it out of here. So I just plugged it back in. I'm gonna put the power back on the truck, because these seats are full power, so I can't even move the seat out of the way. If you guys have manual seats, you probably won't have this issue, but with my truck being full power, I gotta have power to move the seat forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the seat forward before we deal with any of this nonsense. So I'll probably just tuck it up like this a little more, and maybe a little more forward like so. I think that should be more than enough to get this thing out of here. I don't know how much I want to fold it up, to be honest. I think that should be. Maybe we'll fold it. I don't even know how far it goes. I've never even done this unless you guys have. Maybe we'll go all the way forward. Actually, it looks a lot better. Okay, so that's all the way forward. And I guess we can probably center this. It'll probably be okay. All right, so I think that's a little better. Let's go back and take the power off for a second time. So just make sure if your seats are full power like mine that you actually put the seat in a position where it can be removed. Kind of obvious, but as I'm kind of witnessing, it's not something you really think about that often, but definitely makes a difference. Okay, so the seat's folded like such. And let me grab a ratchet and the size, and I'll continue right now. So it is in fact a 15, and we can go ahead and take off our clip again. If I can do this with one hand, I don't think so. Let me set this down just quickly here. So squeeze, you're gonna squeeze this pin right here, or push clip, It's pretty stiff, to be honest, but it just comes apart like that. So we're disconnected. We got our 15 mil ratchet on here. Let's get to work. So the two front bolts are removed. We can move on to the back. And move some of the junk out of here that I had set up. These bolts look a little bit bigger, to be honest, but yeah, I think they're gonna be a 16 or 17. Let me confirm the size and we'll continue. Okay, so these rear bolts are actually 18 millimeters. So fronts are 15, rears are 18, and the rears are significantly tighter than the front. So these rears are no joke. I'm using a 1/2 inch breaker bar, and they are tight as can be. I'm guessing because these rears are kind of taking a lot of the load, and if you're in a braking situation or something, that these rears are what's really holding the seat in. But holy, these are not easy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm gonna get the gun, it's gonna be faster. That was a lot easier. Probably tell just by the gun how tight these things are in there. And they're significant bolts too. So anyways, bolts are all out. Again, 18 millimeter head bolts in the rear, 15 in the front. And this seat is free, so we gotta figure out how to get it out of here. All right, let's get this thing out of here. So it looks like just turning it 90 degrees with it folded up and out is gonna do the trick. Okay, so first we'll weigh myself. Scale is zeroed out. So 178.2 is what I weigh. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'll grab the seat and we'll do the math. All right, so we got the seat. I'm holding it. We'll get on the scale. 237.8. Okay, one last time just to make sure there's no errors. We rule out any possible things. We got 237. So let's subtract the two numbers and come up with our weight. Okay, so really that seat isn't that heavy, you guys. For some reason I had in my head that a Hellcat seat weighed 100 pounds, but if you take 237, which is the weight with me holding the seat, and you subtract my weight, which was 178, you get 59 pounds. So really the seat only weighs about 60 pounds, which I guess is better than nothing, but it's not huge. Since we're at it, I figure why not weigh the tailgate also. Okay, here's a spare tire, since this thing can kind of fit on the scale. Okay, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna post another video that'll have a bit more weights. I weighed kind of everything, so I wanna do a video that shows all the weights and also show the seat removal process. I do wanna do a separate video again too that shows how to remove the tailgate by yourself, because I was under the impression the tailgate weighed more. I know it's mostly aluminum, but I think it's aluminum. I don't know, you got me wondering. Anyways, I know the tailgate, I thought the tailgate was heavier than it is, but it's only about 60 pounds. So I'll do a video showing all that stuff in another video, but for this one I just want to focus on the seat removal and what would happen and how to do it and all that good stuff. So anyways, if you like it, thumbs up, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.